I do not think Miles Morales should be his own character in Marvel Rivals. Stop! I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Stop. I think adding a character like Miles Morales as his own selectable character is a bad idea. And I think it's the same concept. I think Miles Morales is just the easiest and most contentious one to talk about. It is the easiest way to frame this, because when I made this the original time, I didn't want to talk about Miles Morales because didn't want people to call me racist, so I talked about Red Hulk. I also mentioned Miles Morales, but I think there is a fundamental difference here between some characters and some other characters, because we're also going to talk about Sam Wilson, Captain America, and why I think he could be added as his own character, whether it's as the Falcon or as Captain America. The point is, and I said it in my Q&A video because I was asked about it, Miles Morales, right? He is Spider-Man. He is not Spider-Man Miles Morales or Kid Arachnid. It is always a problem when they frame him as those things, because he is Spider-Man. Fundamentally, that guy is Spider-Man, and right now he is a much more interesting Spider-Man than Peter Parker. I haven't been up to date on his comics since maybe 2 years after Spider-Verse released, because I bought a few of them because I liked him, and really made me open my third eye to. He was a really boring character before Spider-Verse went and then went pew, and now he's awesome, right? And I hope they're still hitting it out of the ballpark with him. And what the point is, he is Spider-Man. Through and through, he's Spider-Man. So when this game has a really good job. It doesn't always hit the nail on the head, Black Widow, but it does a really good job of enabling that superhero fantasy. When you play Punisher, you are gunning them down. You are gunning them down like the Punisher would. When you play Spider-Man, you feel like you're Spider-Man. You feel like you are playing Spider-Man. If they put Marvel Rivals Spider-Man and just made a game with that character design, it would feel like a Spider-Man game. That's the point. So if you add Miles Morales, who is Spider-Man, to the game, and he doesn't play like Spider-Man, that is a problem. It is the same thing as saying, you're not Spider-Man, you're Kid Arachnid. And with the way the game treats their black characters is already not... Well, I don't agree with every point made, because I think there are other, more likely explanations. I'm not going to sit here and say they do a good thing with them. They do good things with those characters. No! But most importantly, right? Most importantly, at least to me, I think if you add a character like Miles Morales to Marvel Rivals, one of two things happens. One, it doesn't feel like Spider-Man. As I said, it doesn't feel like the character that it is most similar to. That it needs to feel like. Red Hulk needs to feel like you're playing the Hulk. Even if he has an extra gun or something, he still needs to feel like you're playing the Hulk. And sometimes, if you design away from that, so he doesn't feel similar, then he doesn't feel like that, and it messes up the entire power fantasy. Or two, you does feel like that, but it ends up being, I don't know what you guys would call it, but in Smash Brothers, they called it Echo Fighters. It would end up being an Echo Fighter. Because I keep seeing, I'll just give him the Spider-Man web swings, right? Give him Spider-Man's web swings, and then give him an invisibility and an electric punch or whatever. So you want Spider-Man 2. And this game already has a problem with adding another character. When Phoenix released, it was just Hela 2, a better version of Hela. Spider-Man with invisibility and an electric punch. Maybe the electric punch is just the same as the uppercut, but that's just better Spider-Man, right? That's just a better version of what Spider-Man is now. And my point is, neither of those are good options. Obviously, we'd rather have them in the game and feel like the character they're supposed to be than not in the game, and right? That's how I feel. Personally, I think the best option is do the Lady Loki route. And that's the same thing I said back in my original video. You can do it. I said make an extra tier of skin or whatever, it costs more money, blah, blah, blah. That's bad. But you make it like the Lady Loki. Instead of just changing the gender, though, you change the whole character. You get unique voice lines, a unique voice actor, unique animations, unique skin. It should feel like it's a different character, but it should just be a skin, right? So, like, Miles Morales specific voice lines. I think that's good. Red Hulk specific voice lines. The animations, like for his uppercut, for the Spider-Man uppercut, has webs wrapped around his fist. Instead of webs wrapped around his fist, you know what we should do? Electricity. Just do simple things like that. For his emotes, he can go invisible for some of them. Like, because that is the best of both worlds. He feels like Spider-Man with unique voice lines that are Miles Morales specific and not Spider-Man related. Like, because the Loki ones are just the Loki voice lines, but voiced by someone else. Unique voice lines. It will feel like Spider-Man. It will be Miles Morales. Right. And those are the two things you really have to hit when you're adding something like this. I said we talk about Captain America. Sam Wilson's Captain America. I think a character like that, even though it is Captain America, could be added. Like, obviously, they'd probably add them as Falcon before they added them as Captain America, and they'd get a Captain America skin. But if they wanted to add them as Captain America, I think that would be fine. You know why? Because fundamentally, they would play differently. Because of the wings. This only works for characters that would play similarly. The Abomination is kind of just like the Hulk. At least I've never been a big Hulk guy, so I only really know bits and pieces from where crossovers happen, where he's in other characters' stories, and the Incredible Hulk movie from the early 2000s. But he's kind of just like the Hulk, you know? There's not much else to him. He would play like the Hulk, or similarly. So unless you can really, really find another playstyle there, that's pretty much it. You make him a deluxe skin of the Hulk. And I think that'd be cool. My only problem with this is a legendary skin is 2200, maybe 24. That's like $25, give or take. If they increase the cost of it, because it's going to have unique voice lines, it's going to be like 30,000, which is like 30 bucks. I might be crazy. I might have the prices wrong in my head. I did not check before I made this video, but I'm pretty sure 100 is $1, which means 2,000 is $20. But anyways, I think that is the biggest problem that comes from this. And honestly, if that's the biggest problem, I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, it costs more, but this game is very, very forgiving. No, that's not the right word. It's very generous with how many units it gives you. It gives you a lot if you just play the game. So do that. Also, while you're at it, put skins in the proficiency pass, because half the things in there can't be used, because if you use them, you just get target banned. You can't even play the character that you spent so long playing the character for to earn it. But that's pretty much my opinion. I'll see you.